everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're one of my subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing and coming back to watch this video. I know that it's been a little while since I made a video, and the reason for that is just because I've been busy. It's been so hot here in North Carolina, and honestly, I've just lacked motivation to really do much because I'm just so tired from the heat. It's just summer is just not my favorite time of year, and yeah, so I really wasn't anticipating on making a video today. I really wasn't, but I have been watching Scentsy Family Reunion on like the streaming. So I didn't actually go, but I did purchase the streaming option. So I have been watching it that way. And there's just been so much new information that's been put out. I just wanted to come on here and give you some of my opinions. I'm really not going to tell you everything that's been released. I'll tell you a few things. And if I have pictures, I will insert the pictures as I'm talking about it because I do have my iPad here. I have some pictures that I took, but honestly, the streaming quality this year of the video was not very good. So a lot of the pictures are just not very good quality. But Scentsy has released some actual like pictures on the workstation of products that are coming. So if I talk about any of those products, I will put some pictures up for you to see. And you know, I'll talk about it that way. So I do have to get this video edited and then get it uploaded. So I'm not quite sure what day it's going to get uploaded. Today is currently July 30th. Like I said, I've been streaming Scentsy Family Reunion. If you're not aware of what that is, it's just basically something that Scentsy puts on every single year, and consultants travel and go. I was unable to do that. Scentsy basically shares sneak peeks with us. They show us the new fall winter catalog. They show us harvest and holiday items. And this year in particular, Scentsy has kind of had a refresh with their brand. They've gotten a new logo. There's just been a lot of changes. So Scentsy has thrown out a lot of information to us consultants. And honestly, I'm still trying to collect my thoughts about everything that's been discussed and shown to us so far. So I'm going to be giving you my honest opinions. So there are some good things I want to say, and then there's also some things that I want to talk about that I was kind of upset with. But you know, these are just my thoughts. Like I said, I'm still collecting my thoughts. Everything has not had time to sink in yet. And, you know, just like everyone else, I'm going to adapt to all these changes and everything that Scentsy has told us. And, you know, try to make the best of it and move forward just because this is my business and that's what I have to do. But also, I think it's important that all of us, customers, consultants, anyone that purchases Scentsy, I think that it's important to talk about what your real feelings are. Now, you can sugarcoat it, but I do think that it's important that you talk about, you know, maybe what you would have liked to have seen different, or, you know, how you really feel about the changes, because everything can't be positive all the time. And even though I can put a positive spin on pretty much everything, I still feel like I need to talk about, you know, how this affects me and just what my opinions are. So if that's not something that you're interested in hearing, maybe this isn't the video for you. I'm going to try to record another video after this. That is my Beat the Heat flash sale hauls. There's two huge ones here. I mean, there is a lot of stuff here as well as some other hauls. So if I have time, I'm going to try to get that done and get that video up next. Plus, I have my Bring Back My Bar Worm reviews. I have the August scent of the month. I have the Grazing Grasslands collection. There is a lot here that I need to do. So if this isn't a video you want to watch or hear, yeah, please just come back and watch another video. And, you know, it won't hurt my feelings. I hope that it doesn't hurt anyone else's feelings that I'm going to be sharing, you know, my true thoughts and feelings here. First and foremost, Scentsy announced, you know, their new logo. And I will try to put some pictures up here because, like I said, I do have some things printed off here in front of me, but it might just be easier for me to put it on the screen as I'm editing this video, just because I'm trying to quickly get through this. And I really didn't have enough time to prepare for this video like I normally do, where I have like all my notes right out in front of me and I have kind of like an outline of what I want to talk about so I don't go off course, because if you've watched my videos, I ramble and I'm going to get off course, and that's just going to happen with this. So I'm going to try to keep it in order, but I don't know what's going to happen. The new Scentsy logo, I really did like the logo. I was honestly very, very anxious about them unveiling this and telling us, you know, the new brand refresh. I mean, I was very nervous about it because I was like, what is this going to look like? I did like the logo. So there's like different versions of the logo, and I think that's really smart. I think it's really, really pretty. So my favorite one, I'll show it here with like the muted purple, was like the S with like the floral type look to it and like more decorative. I think that's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. The only thing about the logo that I did not really, it's not that I don't like it. It's just that to me, it kind of looks like a monogram, like your last name, just because my last name is Shu. So it's an S. And to me, it just reminds me of things that I've purchased over the years, maybe accessories that are monogrammed or things that I've put in the house that have my, you know, last name initial. And so that's kind of what it reminds me of. I still love it. I just think if a product only has that S on there, then I feel like it kind of looks like a monogram thing. So while we're talking about the logo and it kind of looking like a monogram, I'm just going to go ahead and get this out of the way that Scentsy did announce at Family Reunion that they are now going to be selling candles. And if you watched my rapid fire video, then you know that I don't use candles. It's just not something that I want to use. I don't really want a flame in the house because I have Luna. I used to battle a lot of headaches, migraines all the time. And that was back when I was burning candles a lot. And so I'm not sure if that was causing the headaches. And so it's not really something that I want to get into again, honestly. So I'll put a picture here of what one of the candles they showed us looks like. I don't know if all of them are going to look this way. They did say they're soy candles, and I understand Scentsy's reasoning for wanting to create candles and sell candles. I really do, because they are a fragrance company. And if they want to be a leading fragrance company, I can understand how in some people's minds, they don't understand why Scentsy doesn't sell candles, because candles are a huge market, and especially the younger generation, lots of people are buying candles. So I do get that. But if you've been with Scentsy for a really long time, you know that, I mean, we've just always had that principle of we have wax melts because of the safety concerns that are related to candles. And so that's really why I went to Scentsy, is because of the safety aspect of it. So it's just hard for us consultants who have been with Scentsy for so long, and that's just in our minds, and it's just really hard to think that Scentsy is selling candles. Now, I don't really have anything against it because I have friends who love candles. It is what it is. I do think some people are be kind of confused by that, but you know, it is what it is. If they do well, then great. If they don't do well, then I'm sure Scentsy will make some changes. I mean, I don't know. So we'll just have to see how it goes. The only thing about the candles is, as you've seen in the picture, the S logo is on the front. I do like the simplicity of the candle. I like how it's not really busy or anything like that. But with it just having the S on it like that, again, it just reminds me of like a monogram that you would have for someone's last name. So if I went over to someone's house and they had that candle burning in their home and their last name is Williams or something like that, and I noticed the S on the candle, in my mind, I would be wondering, well, why do they have a candle with an S on it? Especially because this is a new logo for Scentsy, so no one is really aware of that logo. It's not like, it's not like that logo has been around for a while and people know, okay, that's a Scentsy candle. You know, that's Scentsy's logo. So I don't know. That's just where my mind went with this candle when I first seen it, is, okay, it looks like an S that I would buy for my last name to decorate the house with. So for me, if I want to purchase one of the candles, which I'm going to be honest, I mean, I probably will purchase one because I have to give reviews for my customers and I have to tell them how the candle does. I'm not sure that I will actually light the candle. I may have to get like a candle lamp or something like that and figure out another way to use the candle to give my opinion about it. But, for me, I think it would be great because it's an S and my last name starts with an S. But for everyone else, that part of it I don't really like. But who knows? I mean, I don't know that the rest of the candles are going to look like that. I have no idea what they're going to look like. I have no idea, what all the scents are going to be. We don't know what the price is yet. So honestly, Scentsy just hasn't given us much information about the candles yet. And what they're going to look like. I don't know if all of them are going to be like this neutral color, if the wax is going to be colored for different candles, if they're all going to look exactly the same. I mean, who knows? They do have 2 wicks in them. And like I said, they did tell us that they were soy candles, and they really talked about they design these candles to be safer, sturdy, things like that. So I do appreciate that. So I'm going to move on from the candles. I feel like I've talked about that a good bit. So the candles are definitely coming at some point. And I just wanted to go ahead and talk about those just because of the logo. It has the logo front and center on there. I feel like it would have made more sense to maybe make the logo a little smaller, maybe put what the fragrance is on the front of the candle, make that pretty. I mean, I honestly don't know. I don't know what it should look like. It's just in my mind, it went to like a monogram decor. That's what it looks like to me. But so there's that. I do think it's absolutely beautiful. I do. So I hope that the price point is going to be good for the candles, since we are going to be competing with Bath and Body Works and Yankee Candle and things like that. So yeah, hopefully, the candles aren't going to be too pricey. So going back to the brand refresh, Scentsy is going to be changing their packaging, and that's because they want to reflect the new logo. And I do appreciate that they kept the clamshells the same shape and all of that. Like, I really do love the fact that they did that. And I think that the boxes are really pretty. They seem to be going to more like muted type colors. So the boxes and the packaging that they showed us for the warmers, I think were really, really pretty. So I'll try to put some pictures here of what I took, or possibly I might be able to find some other pictures of that. But if not, I'll insert my pictures here. They're not very good because I was trying to take a picture of my computer screen while I was streaming Scentsy Family Reunion. And honestly, the streaming quality just was not very good this year. I don't think it was a problem on my end, but everything was very fuzzy, very blurry. So you'll notice that in any of these pictures of what I was taking of my computer screen. So for the clamshells, the actual shape is going to be staying the same for the wax bars, but they are going to be changing the way it looks, like with the colors and the logo and everything. So I'll try to put another picture here of a few bars that they showed us. This is where I have conflicting feelings. I do like the simplistic kind of look to it, but I also really, really love the way Scentsy's wax bars now have like a design on each wax bar that is unique to that specific bar. I've always loved that. I always like getting bars in and seeing what type of design they created for that specific bar. It just makes it feel more special. So I am going to miss that if Scentsy is not going to do that anymore. I mean, I'm not 100% sure that every single scent going forward is just going to be just a solid color and there's not going to be any design on it. I really don't know. But in the picture, there's also like some extra words on the bar, but my picture that I took was too fuzzy to really make out what is being said. I've seen some other consultants say they think that Scentsy has put the scent description on the front of the bar. I don't know for sure if that's what they've done or not. As far as the packaging goes, if you place an order right now, if you place the order, a month from now, you may still receive the current packaging. You may not receive the new packaging until they have ran out of all that. So going forward, I just don't know what to expect with all of the packaging. I just feel like, are the bars going to look very similar as far as, they are a muted type color on the front. I mean, there's only so many colors you can do. I feel like the designs made them all unique, like I said. So I don't know. I do like how simple it looks. I just wish that all of them were not like that. Like maybe just the classic bars were like that or something. So while we're talking about the bars, I'll move away from the brand refresh. There is way more information about the brand refresh. I just don't have time to go into everything today. There was lots that they shared with us and the inspiration behind all that. I feel like they're headed more towards a modern type approach. They're supposed to be trying to appeal more to the younger generation. There's lots of gorgeous warmers that are coming, lots of warmers that I love. So far, I'm happy with that. What I'm not happy about is honestly the fragrances in the fall winter catalog. And so this is where my rant is probably really going to take off for just a second. And I really do apologize. So I'm really, really salty at the moment. And if you've been watching my channel, you probably know why I'm salty. that is because Scentsy has discontinued Autumn Hearth. And Autumn Hearth is probably in my top 3 favorite scents. And I use it year round. My mom uses it year round. I have it in my club so that I can use it year round. It has been around for quite a while. It's a very, very popular bar with my customers. It's a very popular bar with my family. And I'm really, really upset that Scentsy has chosen to discontinue that bar. The reason being is fall and winter for me and a lot of my customers is all about spices and bakery and cinnamon and scents like that. Now, I do have a lot of customers that don't like any type of spicy cinnamon scents, and usually Scentsy has plenty of scents like that. But we also need spicy cinnamon scents for those of us who love those type of fragrances. So I know that there are cinnamon scents left in the catalog. I know that there's spicy scents left in the catalog. It's just that the scents that Scentsy has chosen to keep in the catalog that are in the spicy category are just not the scents that I personally would have kept. It's not scents that my customers really enjoy that much. And they have eliminated Autumn Hearth, which I feel like is just a good all-around fall bar that is an amazing seller. So they have decided to keep Apple and Cinnamon Sticks, which I think is probably similar to Autumn Hearth, I guess, to some people, if you look at the descriptions of the two, just because, you know, there's apple and there's spices. But there's no comparison, okay? So if Apple and Cinnamon Sticks is one of your favorite fragrances, I'm sorry for what I'm about to say. But I honestly feel like of the two, I would have rather seen Apple and Cinnamon Sticks go. Even though I do have customers who love that scent, even though I do think it's a pretty scent. I think the reason why it sells better, honestly, for a lot of customers is just because they go off of the name of the bar. They read Apple and Cinnamon Sticks and they think, okay, that's a great apple and cinnamon bar. I want that for fall. And that's what they get. But really, honestly, it does not smell like an apple cinnamon type bar to me that I want to wear, because it has that oak, woodsy type fragrance mixed in there that I don't like. And a lot of my customers don't like. So yes, it bothers me. It bothers me a lot that they're getting rid of Autumn Hearth, just because I feel like it was a very well-rounded autumn bar. Honestly, I would have rather have seen First Day of Fall go. I would have rather seen Apple and Cinnamon Sticks go. Cinnamon Vanilla, I would have rather seen it go. I would have rather any of those go rather than Autumn Hearth, just because Autumn Hearth is so unique and it deserves a spot in the catalog. I just don't care. It deserves a spot in the catalog. So with this fall winter catalog, I feel like they have added so many new bars to the other categories, and we only got one new bar in the spice category. I don't understand that. To me, fall, winter, that is what you think of. You think of spice, you think of bakery. That's a lot of customers like that kind of stuff. That's fine to have the woodsy stuff too, but I don't understand some of these scents that they chose to put in this catalog. I don't get it. They have added scents like Orange Dreamsicle. They've added scents like Lucky in Love. They've added Bora Bora Blossom. Why is those 3 scents in this catalog? That makes absolutely no sense to me, Scentsy. No sense at all. I understand that Scentsy is trying to be more inclusive and include other people in the fall winter catalog that may not necessarily like fall winter scents. The problem with that is you didn't do that with the spring and summer catalog, because the spring and summer catalog did not have anything really fall in there besides, okay, baked apple pie possibly, and then Johnny Appleseed, which has no spice in it. And then in the spice category for the spring summer catalog, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was only Welcome Home and Cinnamon Vanilla, unless you want to also count baked apple pie. So, I mean, if you like spice and you like cinnamon, you have to add your favorite bars to Scentsy Club so that you can continue to get those throughout the year so that you can warm them when you want to warm them. And let me tell you, that's what I do. That's what my mom does. That's what I do. We both like cinnamon. That's what we have to do. Fall and winter is our favorite time of year, and that's what we do. And we wait for the fall and winter catalog to come back out so that we can have our time enjoying all of the fall winter scents that Scentsy normally releases. So if you are someone who doesn't really like the fall winter catalog, then you have to add those spring summer fragrances to your club or stock up on them so that you can continue to enjoy the type of fragrances you like in another season. Because I think most people are seasonal type melters. Me, not so much, because I like fall, winter type fragrances throughout the year. But I mean, I think for the most part, people are just fine with the catalog mostly concentrating on fall, winter. I mean, that's what they expect. They expect it to be a fall, winter catalog centered around those type of fragrances. Now, I'm not saying for all of it to be like that. Okay. I think Scentsy usually does an okay job, aside from the fact that they always skimp out on bakery. We always seem to have less bakery, and then also sometimes not as much cinnamon as I would like to see. So as I'm watching Family Reunion, I'm getting glimpses of the catalog, and I am noticing that Autumn Hearth is not in the catalog. And so I just immediately started to get upset over the fact that this bar is gone. But then I also noticed later that Rum Pum Plum is also not in the catalog. My other favorite. Okay. So 2 favorites here are gone. And then we have all kinds of other amazing fragrances that they decided to cut from the catalog. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you which fragrances were discontinued for each scent category, and then I'm going to tell you which ones were added for each scent category, so that you can kind of see it that way and hear it that way. Because once I wrote it down like that and looked at it, it's definitely skewed. You can tell that that's definitely lacking in the spice bakery type category, and I don't know, it just made me feel some type of way. Okay, so for the discontinued bars, in the spice category, we have Autumn Hearth is discontinued, we have Autumn Sunset, and we have Farm Stand Pumpkin. Now, Autumn Sunset was another really, really spicy scent that's been around for a really long time. We kind of knew that that one was going to be discontinued because they just had the bars in the flash sale. Same thing with Autumn Hearth. The room sprays and the pods have been in the flash sales, but not the bars. So where's the bars? I would have stocked up on some of those bars in the flash sale had I seen them. But thankfully, I do have it tucked away in my club, so it is okay. So the problem with club, and the reason why it makes me upset, is just because you can't get pods, you can't get room sprays, you can't get scent circles, you can't get those type of things in your favorite fragrance. And then, it's also not available anymore to recommend to customers, because this was just a go-to fragrance that my customers always love if they like spices, if they like cinnamon. Okay, so those 3 fragrances were taken out of the spice category. Now, I'm perfectly fine with Farm Stand Pumpkin leaving, because honestly, that bar, I don't think it ever deserved to be in the spice category, honestly, because it was never a very spicy type fragrance. I do think it was an okay fragrance, but it was never a good performer for me. I mean, even in my old house that was smaller and was not an open concept, I could never get good performance out of that bar. So for me, I'm okay with that one going, but I do know that there are some customers out there who are going to be upset about that. So I do hope that you guys clubbed it if it's one that you love. So those 3 fragrances were taken out of the spice category, and the only fragrance that is being added to the spice category, that we don't normally have, is a new fragrance that's called Buttered Pumpkin Dream. So Buttered Pumpkin Dream says warm chestnuts, buttered pumpkin spice, and rustic cedarwood. Buttered Pumpkin Dream sounds like a fragrance that I would like, so that's good. However, in the spice category, you also have a fragrance that's called Brown Butter Pumpkin. Okay, those 2 fragrances are named very, very similar. Customers are going to get confused by that. The description for Brown Butter Pumpkin, which was new last fall, winter, is melted butter, brown sugar, and pumpkin. Okay, it doesn't even mention spices here. And when you warm brown butter pumpkin, you really do not smell much spices. So the brown butter pumpkin, which is now listed as a bestseller, and it was new last year, it did come back, and they have it listed in the spice category. But like I said, it's taking up a spice spot, but I feel like it's more of a bakery bar. Okay, so even though I really do love that bar, I have to mix it with something spicy to make it be more of like what I feel like it should be. But I do like the bar. I'm just saying it's taking up a spot in the spice category when technically I really don't think it's a spicy type fragrance. So the Buttered Pumpkin Dream, we will see, it does say warm chestnuts, buttered pumpkin, spice, and rustic cedarwood. I'm not quite sure how I feel about some rustic cedarwood in that, but we will see how that one does. The other fragrances that are in the spice category is Apple and Cinnamon Sticks, Christmas Cottage, Cider Mill, Cinnamon Bear, Cinnamon Vanilla, Clove and Cinnamon, First Day of Fall, Leaves and Lavender, Maple Apple Bourbon, Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl, and welcome home. There still is some to choose from, so I am thankful for that. So I'm really thankful that Cinnamon Bear came back because that's one of my mom's favorites, and also Clove and Cinnamon, that's also another one of her favorites. But like I said before, first day of fall, I have always said I don't feel like first day of fall should be in the spice category. It does have a dash of cinnamon, even the description says a dash of cinnamon, and it does have nutmeg. So it does have something else in the bar that's giving it kind of like a spicy edge, but not necessarily a cinnamon type edge to it. And even though I have a couple customers that like first day of fall, it's never been a really good seller for me and my customers. So between the Autumn Hearth and that, I mean, yeah, I would have liked that one to have went, but I guess it's a better seller. I don't know. So Leaves and Lavender, I'm pretty sure that one was new last year. And I did like Leaves and Lavender. I feel like it smells a little bit kind of like a spicy type tea. It definitely gives off like a fall feel to it. It's a little bit more on the cozy side. You can smell a little bit of the lavender, but it's not one that I feel like would be out Autumn Hearth. Like it's definitely not one that I feel like should have stuck around and then Autumn Hearth got the boot. But it is a pretty fragrance. Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl, I'm very excited that that one's back. That one's a great bar. Welcome Home, obviously all the time. Cinnamon Vanilla, if it would have been up to me, that one would have got taken out and then let Cinnamon Vanilla come back in the spring and summer. That way we could still have Autumn Hearth for fall and winter, but that's just my personal opinion. And then obviously definitely always want Christmas Cottage to stay. That's just a very, very popular fragrance. And then Cider Mill. I love Cider Mill. I have a lot of customers who love Cider Mill. I don't think that one is heavy on the spices, even though it's in the spice category. But I do love that one, and it definitely deserves a place in the catalog. So I just feel like Autumn Hearth should have stayed in addition to all of these. The spice category should be huge. Like we should have a lot of spice type scents because there are a few fragrances in the spice category that's not even that spicy. So those of us who really, really like the cinnamon and we really, really like the spice type fragrances, we need those in this category as well. The next category I'm going to talk about is bakery. This is what was discontinued from the bakery category. Cherry Chestnut, Cran Apple Crumble, Dutch Apple Bread, Gimme Candy, Rum Pum Plum, Scary Good, and Very Vanilla. All of those have been discontinued and they are not coming back in the fall winter catalog. Heartbroken. Like Cran Apple Crumble wasn't an extreme favorite of mine, but I know a lot of people who love that one. So I'm sad to see that one go. Dutch Apple Bread, I mean, it wasn't one of my absolute favorites either, but it's a very, very good bar. Gimme Candy, I'm really, really sad about that one. I kind of figured that would happen because I figured Spooky but Sweet would make it to the catalog and then Gimme Candy would be eliminated, and that is what happened. But Rum Pum Plum, why? Why, Scentsy? Why did you have to cut Rum Pum Plum as well? Like there's nothing else like Rum Pum Plum. It's an amazing performer. It should never have been cut from the catalog. I'm sorry. It just shouldn't. Thank goodness I have it in my club. But again, that just means I can't get it in pods now, okay? Last fall, I was constantly using Autumn Hearth, Rum Pum Plum. I mean, those pods were amazing. So I don't know. If it shows up in the clearance or if it shows up in a flash sale, I'm going to be buying a lot of those pods for sure. So then you got Scary Good that was also discontinued. I was kind of sad to see that one go, but I mean, I kind of figured that one would also go as well, just because I feel like Spooky but Sweet is a good mixture of Scary Good and Gimme Candy. So, you know, they kept Spooky but Sweet. It's in the catalog, so you've got that one. And then Very Vanilla. I'm perfectly fine with Very Vanilla being taken out of the bakery category because honestly, I don't feel like it was a bakery bar to begin with. I feel like Very Vanilla leaned a little bit more body care vanilla. But I feel like maybe that one will come back in the spring and summer. To me, it's more of a spring summer scent than it is a fall winter bakery type fragrance anyway. Those were the ones that were discontinued. So Scentsy has only added one brand new fragrance to the bakery category for the fall winter catalog. And that fragrance is called a Frosted Marshmallow, and it smells like sparkling cinnamon, marshmallow, and buttercream frosting. That sounds like it would smell absolutely amazing. I hope that it does because they only gave us one brand new bakery fragrance for a fall winter catalog. So there should have been at least 2 new fragrances added to the spice category, or at least 2 new fragrances added to bakery, at least one or the other. And instead they chose to only add one new fragrance to the spice category and 1 new fragrance to the bakery category. Okay. But those are just new ones. Okay. So what they chose to add to the bakery category that are scents that have been around before is banana nut bread, which I'm not quite sure why they chose to add banana nut bread now. I mean, I have a lot of customers who love banana nut bread. I have banana nut bread in my club, so I do like banana nut bread, but I'm not quite sure why they chose to add it for the fall and winter catalog, but it does, I guess, it does have some spices in it, so I'm okay with banana nut bread, okay? Christmas cookie was added. Now, this was not a fragrance that I liked. This was a scent of the month. I don't know, I'll have to put on the screen. This was a scent of the month last year. A lot of people loved Christmas cookie, which I am assuming that's why it came back. It was probably a really good seller, but I personally did not love it enough to club it. It just didn't do it for me. So Christmas cookie just, in theory, it sounded like a scent that I would like, but when it came to actually warming it, I never really fell in love with that bar. It was supposed to have like some pine with it. It was supposed to have like a cookie scent, but to me, it just smelled like vanilla. It smelled like some pine with it. So it just really wasn't a standout scent to me, but I know a lot of people are glad to see that one back, so that's fine. But then they added orange dreamsicle to the bakery category. If you like the scent of orange dreamsicle, that's fine. I remember smelling that from back when it was a Bring Back My bar, but it doesn't deserve to have a spot in the bakery category for a fall winter catalog. I'm sorry, that's just how I feel, because we did not have a fall type fragrance in the bakery category for spring, summer. And maybe going forward, they will do that. Maybe they will add something fall to the spring, summer catalog, but probably not. So orange dreamsicle, I just don't think it should have been in this catalog at all whatsoever. No, they could have waited and they could have brought that back in the spring summer catalog in the bakery category. That would have been fine with me. So I'll read you what else we have that is coming in the bakery category. We have Forever Fall. And let me tell you, I was extremely excited to see Forever Fall is back. Okay, so they took away My Autumn Heart, they took away Rum Pum Plum, but at least we have Forever Fall because I love that fragrance so much. That one is back, so I'm excited to see that. We also have Baked Apple Pie. We have Blueberry Cheesecake, Candy Cane Buttercream, and then we have Gingerbread Pecan Waffles is back. So I was very happy to see that as well because I do think that's an amazing bakery bar as well. We also have Mocha Doodle and we have a Pumpkin Roll. I'm glad to see that that stuck around. That one is amazing. We also have Salted Caramel Toffee. We have Vanilla Amber, and we also have Vanilla Bean Buttercream. So this is another reason why I was fine with them taking very vanilla out of the catalog, because you already have Vanilla Amber in here and you have Vanilla Bean Buttercream, and both of those feel more fall winter to me than the Very Vanilla. But if the Very Vanilla was one of your favorites, I'm sorry. I honestly feel like it will come back in the spring, summer, but I could be wrong. So that was all for the bakery category. I am happy with some of the scents that they chose to bring back. So I'm a lot more pleased with the bakery category than I am with the spice category, for sure. All right, the woods category. Let's talk about it. So they discontinued from the fall winter woods category Around the Campfire. Nothing else like that fragrance. I cannot believe they discontinued that one. It was extremely popular. I did stock up on some from the flash sale, so we all kind of figured this would happen. I do believe I have it in my club. So I am sad to see that one go. They also discontinued Cashmere and Corduroy. I don't know what they were thinking. Honestly, if I had to choose between the two, I would choose Cashmere and Corduroy over Cozy Cardigan. I do think that that is an absolutely beautiful fragrance, so I'm sad to see that one go. They discontinued Cedar Cider. I am shocked they discontinued Cedar Cider. That one's been around for a really long time. That one is an amazing fragrance. I do love it. I don't warm it as much as I used to just because I use Autumn Hearth a lot ever since I've fallen in love with that one, but it's still a staple that I like to reach for. I'm sad to see that one go. I'm sure a lot of you are surprised by that as well. I hope that if you love that one, you added it to club, because I would have gambled that that one was coming back for sure. Falling Apples is discontinued, which that one never sold for me. Honestly, I didn't have a lot of people that liked it. It wasn't one of my favorites. So I personally was fine with seeing that one go. Midnight Mahogany, that also was not a fragrance that I loved. So I was okay with seeing that one go. Pistachio Woods, that was not a fragrance that I loved. I did not like the pistachio note in that fragrance. And so I was okay with seeing that one go. Vanilla Barnwood. Okay, so this one, I'm really surprised that they discontinued this one because, again, it was a really good seller. It was unique, I think. And even though I didn't absolutely love it because of the vanilla note, if I used too much of it, it would give me a headache. I did appreciate that fragrance, and I'm sad to see that one go. That's what they discontinued. Now, let me tell you, they are adding 4 brand new fragrances to the woods category. And this is what I'm saying. Why do we need 4 brand new fragrances in the woods category, but we only need 1 in the spice and only 1 in bakery? Why? So in the woods category, we're getting a new fragrance that's called Blankets of Love. And the description for Blankets of Love says, sheer violet, cotton blossoms, and comforting woods. I have no idea. Again, with it having sheer violet and cotton blossoms, to me, that sounds like it would smell possibly a little bit floral. I'm not sure. So then we have a new fragrance being added to the woods category called Lavender Woods. And the description for it says lavender, cedarwood, and amber. I'm not sure. That sounds like it would be pretty. I don't usually like bars to have amber in them, but we'll see what that one smells like. I do think that they have a pretty good bit of things with lavender in them in this catalog, but we'll see. The third fragrance being added to the woods category is Velvet Cashmere Woods. And the description for that says creamy cashmere, velvet vanilla, and sheer woods. So I'm not sure what that's going to smell like. Just going off the description here, I would think that that would smell kind of body care, but I mean, I could be wrong. I have no idea. And then we have a new fragrance being added to the woods category called White Oak Woodland. And the description for that says velvet plum, creamy sandalwood, and white oak. So I'm not sure what to make of those descriptions until I can get my hands on these bars, but I'm just shocked that there is 4 bars being added to the woods category, 4 brand new fragrances. So in addition to the 4 brand new fragrances being added to the woods category, they are also adding Snowflakes and Sage, which was a scent of the month last year. So they are also adding that to the woods category. That really wasn't a favorite fragrance of mine or any of my customers, but it was okay. So in addition to the scents that I just said, Scentsy is also going to have Alpine Escape, Balsam Spice, Cinnamon Pine Cones, Mystery Man, Sleigh Ride, Very Snowy Spruce, Weathered Leather, and White Pumpkin and Driftwood. So I am glad to see that they brought Balsam Spice back because that one does have some spice to it. It has the balsam. It smells Christmassy with some spice. I really did love that one. I also really, really loved Sleigh Ride. So Sleigh Ride has that cranberry fruity type note to it. So if you like woodsy pine type fragrances with fruitiness, that one is back and I'm extremely excited about that. And then I always look forward to Cinnamon Pine Cones. I'm glad that they brought that one back, and also the Very Snowy Spruce. So I am glad to see those back. You do have 2 fragrances in the woods category that has some spice to them. You have the Balsam Spice and you have Cinnamon Pine Cones. So I am glad that we have those 2 fragrances to choose from as well if you are someone who likes spice as much as I do. Even though I feel like the Cinnamon Pine Cones isn't really a heavy type cinnamon. It's just a slightly sweet, sugary type cinnamon in my opinion, but it is a beautiful fragrance. I love it. Okay, so the next category we're going to talk about here is fruity. This is the one that I'm really shocked by. So in the fruity category, Scentsy discontinued Cherries Jubilee, Cranberry and Cardamom, Frosted Cedar, Pinkberry Sandalwood, and Scarlet Sunflower. Okay, I was okay with Cherries Jubilee going, just because if it came down to Cherries Jubilee or Cranberry and Cardamom, I would have thought that they would have kept the Cranberry and Cardamom, and I love that one a lot more. That fragrance is so amazing. I warmed it so much. It's such a good performer. I just absolutely cannot believe they got rid of it. Now, Amy from Happily Scented Life, she says that Scentsy just doesn't like cranberry fragrances and that they just seem to always discontinue cranberry fragrances, which seems to be true, honestly. But cranberry and cardamom, I did add that one to my club. I'm thankful that I did. That's a beautiful fragrance. So I hope that if you loved it, that you locked it away in your club. Frosted cedar, that one was also pretty. So I'm surprised I got rid of that one. Pinkberry sandalwood, that one was pretty as well, but I would have been okay with that one going. Scarlet sunflower though, I'm heartbroken that that one is discontinued. I said this before back when I had a haul from a flash sale or something when Scarlet Sunflower was on the flash sale, and I picked up a couple that it's just an amazing fragrance. It smells clean. I like mixing it with Pacific Mist. I like mixing it with other bars that I have. It's just a really, really pretty bar. And it was also a bar that I really loved offering to customers who didn't really like fall winter type fragrances. It still smelled a little fall, still smelled clean, and they seemed to really enjoy it. And I'm really sad to see that one go. Now, with that being said, Scentsy added a lot to the fruity category. Now, let's keep in mind that this is a fall winter catalog, and Scentsy has added 3 brand new fragrances to the fruity category. All right. And then they brought back 6 fragrances to the fruity category that were from like limited time collections and things like that last year. One of the brand new fragrances coming to the fruity category is Emerald Pear Blossom. Emerald Pear Blossom smells like emerald pear, white cranberry, and amber blossom. Not sure what that's going to smell like. They also added a new fragrance called Golden Sunflower Fields, which says it smells like red apple, fields of hay, fresh picked sunflowers. So I'm assuming this Golden Sunflower Fields is what is replacing the Scarlet Sunflower. But I also feel like this scent description for the Golden Sunflower Fields sounds a little bit like Hayrides, which is a bar that is available in the fresh category. Hayrides says fresh hay, cedarwood, and crisp apple. So in my opinion, I think Hayrides smelled a little fruity. So I'm really interested to smell Golden Sunflower Fields. I hope it smells completely different from Hayrides. And you know, hopefully it'll be a new favorite I fall in love with, because it does sound like one that I would be interested in. So the third brand new fragrance being added to the fruity category is Old Fashioned Evening. And the description for it says winter cherry, vanilla orchid, and sandalwood. And I personally do not like floral type bars whatsoever. So the fact that it says vanilla orchid, I mean, I am kind of concerned about this one, but I am excited to smell it and you know, see what that one smells like. So the other fragrances that they have added to the fruity category is Apple Spice Season. So that one was from the Harvest collection last year. They brought that one back. I did really love that bar. But again, if it came down to it, I would rather have Autumn Hearth, because Apple Spice Season, even though it says Apple Spice Season, it's definitely a way more fruity bar, which is why they have it in the fruity category. The description for it says juicy apple, harvest pumpkin, sparkling spices. It is more fruity. It has the apple, it has pumpkin, even though I think that you can smell more of the apple when it's warming. And it does have some slight spices, but definitely not enough to compete with a fragrance like, you know, Autumn Hearth, like if you're somebody who likes apple and spice. But I mean, it's a good one to have back. That one, a lot of my customers like that one. They also brought back Holiday Market. So now that one has been added to the fruity category. And Holiday Market is pink grapefruit, pomegranate juice, and allspice. I think I did like that one. This next one here is the one I just don't understand. They added Lucky in Love to the fruity category. So Lucky in Love is mandarin, bergamot, orange, peaches, and berries. Now, that description would sound like something interesting, sound like something you might want for fall and winter. But in my opinion, Lucky in Love smells like Love Spell, which is that body spray from Victoria's Secret. It definitely smells more of like a perfume type fragrance, even though I love the fragrance, don't get me wrong. I don't think that this is a fragrance that belongs in the fall winter catalog at all. I mean, we just had this available for Bring Back My Bar. And if anything, I think they should have just waited and brought it back for spring and summer, just like the Orange Dreamsicle. I don't understand why it's in the fall and winter taking up a place when we could have had something else. We also have Merry Wonderland. So this one came back and they now have it in the fruity category. This one, was it Scents of the Season? I think it was in the Scents of the Season collection from last year. It was okay. I think that's the one that I said reminded me of the Wicked bar. There was something about that bar that there was just something similar in that bar that smelled like the Wicked bar. So Mary Wonderland says pink apple, clove, and sparkling spruce. I mean, it was good, but it's not one that I added to club or anything. Then the next one is probably what I was most excited to see in the whole catalog that's being added, and that is salted caramel cider. So if you remember my reviews on the holiday bricks from last year, salted caramel cider was absolutely amazing. I mean, I have been waiting on those bricks to hit a flash sale or something like that because I was going to buy all of them. So I'm excited to see that it's coming back. The description for it is salted caramel, vanilla bean, and fresh pressed apple cider. This one did not really have a whole lot of spices to it. It had maybe a hint, but it just had the most gorgeous, buttery caramel that I've ever smelled Scentsy create. I mean, this is an absolutely gorgeous fragrance. So even though I don't have Autumn Hearth now, and I'm really upset that they took it out of the catalog, I do appreciate the fact that they put a salted caramel cider in the catalog because it definitely deserves a spot, and I'm very thankful that it's in the catalog. So thank you, Scentsy, for adding salted caramel cider. That one is absolutely beautiful. If you were not able to try that one and you love a caramel cider type fragrance, a buttery caramel, I mean, you've got to give that one a try. It's amazing. So the last fragrance added to the fruity category here was Wrapped in Lights. And that was also from the holiday bricks. And so I'm really glad to see that one back. I did enjoy that fragrance. But again, Holiday Market and Wrapped in Lights were a little bit similar to me as far as they give like a brighter type fruity feel. So personally, I would have been okay with either one of those fragrances coming back and then maybe giving that spot to something else. But I mean, I do enjoy both of them. So in addition to those new fragrances and then the returning fragrances, we also have Autumn Road Trip. It's coming back. And I'm sure that there's a lot of you out there who absolutely love Autumn Road Trip. But again, if it was up to me, I would have took Autumn Road Trip out of the catalog and I would have kept Autumn Hearth. That's just me personally because Autumn Road Trip has that silver oak note that I don't really care for. But I don't know if I would really do that or not because I do have a lot of customers who really love Autumn Road Trip. So I guess it does deserve a place in the catalog. It is a beautiful fragrance. So Autumn Road Trip is back. We have Black Raspberry Vanilla, which I do love Black Raspberry Vanilla. But if Scentsy ever needed like a spot for another fragrance, I would be fine with Black Raspberry Vanilla just being like in the spring summer catalog. Even though I love it, don't get me wrong, it's one of my favorite fragrances. I just don't warm it as often in the fall winter as I do spring summer, unless I'm mixing it with like a bakery type bar. And then they also brought back Caramel Apple Craze, which I was very excited to see because I was actually kind of afraid that that one was going to get discontinued. So I'm glad that that one came back. And then we also have Johnny Appleseed. That one is still in the catalog. That one has been in the catalog for spring and summer as well. And then we also have Snowberry, which that one's been around for a really long time. I honestly thought that that one might actually get the boot. And I don't know. That one just doesn't sell that well for my customers, but I do like the fragrance. And then we have Winterberry Apple Tea, a solid performing bar that a lot of my customers love that one. And so that's it for the fruity category. All right, so if we go on to the citrus category, the only bar that was discontinued from the citrus category is Squeeze the Day, which I was very shocked to see. I think maybe Scentsy just did that because they're making room for some of these other fragrances. I honestly feel like Squeeze the Day will come back in the spring summer catalog, but I don't know that for sure because Scentsy has created so many lemon fragrances lately. Luck of the Rainbow was absolutely amazing. And then they had Lemon Heaven, and they've had lots of lemon fragrances lately. And I feel like when spring summer rolls back around, which lemon fragrance are they going to choose to put in the catalog? So if you love Squeeze the Day, I would highly recommend putting that one in your Scentsy Club for sure. I have not decided if I'm going to add Squeeze the Day to my club. If you've been watching my channel, you know I love lemon scents. I really, really do. But Squeeze the Day has like a hint of vanilla in it, which keeps me from absolutely loving it. But I do like it. I don't know. I can't decide. That's all they discontinued. And this is what they have added to the citrus category. Now, they don't have anything that's a brand new fragrance coming to the citrus category, but they did add one of my favorite fragrances from last year, Sparkling Spiced Citrus. So I'm pretty sure that was from the Harvest collection last year. And that is an amazing, amazing scent. I am so glad to see it back. And it's going to be in the citrus category. Like I said, the description says sparkling mandarin, black currant, raw sugarcane, and clove bud. So it doesn't really have cinnamon. It might have like a hint of cinnamon, but it's mostly like clove type spices to it, but it is so gorgeous. It's a great performer. And I just saw today on Reunion that they are going to be bringing out a limited time collection in the cleaning line in Sparkling Spiced Citrus. And that means there's going to be dish soap available in Sparkling Spiced Citrus. And that means that I will be purchasing a good bit of those bottles. Between my mom and I, we will absolutely love that fragrance. We use the dish soap like crazy. So usually when it comes out for a limited time collection like that, we stock up on a couple. And since that's a fragrance that her and I both absolutely love, we will definitely be grabbing some of those. So in addition to the dish soap, there's also going to be counter clean and there's also going to be hand soap. So at some point, those will be released as like a limited time collection, and I cannot wait to get my hands on that for sure. So the other fragrance that's being added to the citrus category is Warm Winter Night, and that was from the holiday bricks from last year. If you watch my reviews on those, I really did not care for that fragrance at all. It definitely was not one that I liked, but the description says bourbon, citrus, and brown sugar. It was just a weird mix of notes in that fragrance, and I really didn't care for it. There was honestly like a rubber type smell with it, and I don't know. There was something about that one that I didn't care for. So if you love that one, I'm glad that it came back for you. But personally, yeah, it would not have been one that I would have chose to put in the catalog for sure. So in addition to those fragrances, we also have Blue Grotto, which I'm glad that we have Blue Grotto. I do use that one a lot. I use it year round, even though that one is definitely more of a summery type fragrance, in my opinion. I do like to use that one in the bathrooms. So I do love Blue Grotto. And then we also have Coconut Lemongrass. That one is also available for the fall winter catalog. And then we also have Sunkissed Citrus. So I am glad to see Sunkissed Citrus in the catalog because I do love that one. Personally, if I were to choose between Sunkissed Citrus or Squeeze the Day, I would definitely warm Sunkissed Citrus over Squeeze the Day. But that's just me personally because I have lots of other lemon bars that I prefer over Squeeze the Day. So that was all for that category. And we also have the fresh category, and we have a few that's been discontinued from there. So in the fresh category, we have Arctic Kiss being discontinued and Cranberry Candy Cane. Both of those are fragrances that I love. So Luna's here. She woke up from her nap. So I kind of had a feeling that Arctic Kiss might get discontinued just because I feel like there's not a lot of people talking about that fragrance as much anymore as they used to. That one was extremely popular when it first came out, and I just don't have a lot of people talking about it as much, even though I do love that scent and it's in my club. So I'm going to have to make up my mind if I want to keep it in my club or if I want to take it out. And then Cranberry Candy Cane. Cranberry Candy Cane was one of my favorite fragrances. It is not the best performer in wax, and I honestly preferred it in pods. I think the fragrance in pods was a lot cleaner, and I really liked it in pods more than wax, but I still enjoy it in the wax. So I do have that in my club, and I probably will keep it in my club for a little while at least. So they discontinued 2 fragrances from the fresh category, and they added one brand new fragrance to the fresh category that is called Wild Pine and Linen. And the description for that is crisp air, lavender, oak moss, white pine, and clean linen. And again, it's another fragrance with some lavender in it. This one does sound clean though. It does sound like something that I might be interested in. So I am interested to smell that one. So there was nothing else added to the fresh category, but we do have these scents returning. We have Aloe Water and Cucumber, Amazon Rain, Clean Breeze, Clothesline, Cozy Cardigan, Eucalyptus Wreath, which I'm glad to see that's back. Have a lot of customers who love that one. Hay Rides, Jammy Time, Just Breathe, Newborn Nursery, Perfect Peppermint, Polar Bear Hug, and Silver Bells. I'm glad that Silver Bells came back. I was kind of nervous that Silver Bells might get the cut, but it does say bestseller by it, so that's a good thing. I think if there would be one from this category that I would remove to make room for anything else, it would have been Newborn Nursery. Now, that's just my opinion because it's not a fragrance that I warm. I know that there's a lot of people who really love that fragrance, especially because it is a powerhouse. It is a powerhouse. It definitely smells clean and powdery like a baby powder, in my opinion. So I'm glad that one's in the catalog for everyone who loves it. I'm just saying, like, if I absolutely had to remove something here, it would be either Newborn Nursery or Cozy Cardigan to make room for something else. The last category here is the floral category, which is definitely not my favorite category. The only one that was discontinued that was available last fall winter is French Vanilla, which I think we all kind of figured that that one wouldn't come back again, or at least I did. So I did add it to Club because I do like that bar. I think it smells really, really clean. So the French Lavender was discontinued, and then they have 2 fragrances coming in the floral category, but they are not brand new fragrances. So they have Bora Bora Blossom and they have Frosted Fantasy. Makes absolutely no sense to me that they would be adding a Bora Bora Blossom to a fall winter catalog. And then also Frosted Fantasy, it was not a fragrance that I like. Frosted Fantasy, I believe, was from maybe the holiday collection from last year. So Bora Bora Blossom smells like island fruits, orchid, and green violet leaf. If I remember correctly, Bora Bora Blossom is a tropical, summery, floral type fragrance. It's been a while since I've smelled that one. I think that I liked it kind of okay, but I don't understand why it's taken a spot in this catalog with floral, because when the spring summer catalog came out, I mean, it's all floral. It's all fruity. You know what I mean? Like, those categories are large for spring and summer, and the spice category only had like 2 fragrances in it. So for the fall winter catalog, normally the floral category is only like 1 or 2 bars. Like, we don't usually have that many in the fall winter catalog. But this year they have 4 fragrances. They have the Bora Bora Blossom, they have Luna, and they have Provence Lavender, and then they have the Frosted Fantasy, which the Frosted Fantasy they added is supposed to smell like bergamot, snowdrop blossoms, and cedarwood. And I didn't really care for that one when it was in the holiday collection. It definitely smells more body care, but it's just not my type of fragrance. I just don't like floral fragrances, even though these are pretty fragrances. I wish that they would have just kept it at Luna and Provence Lavender. Like, just keep those 2 in the catalog, and then the other 2 spots, give it to something else. Give it to spice, give it to bakery. I mean, that is what fall winter should be, in my opinion. So I have talked about fragrances a lot. I feel like I have went on and on about fragrances. I did want to show you, this is what the cover of the catalog looks like. So I was going to talk about that just for a second. In my opinion, this is the cover for a fall winter catalog. And I have printed this on a normal size sheet of paper, but obviously, you know, the catalogs are smaller. And this year they are only going to have like 16 pages or something. I mean, they have made them a lot thinner this year, and they've condensed everything really down in the catalogs. But if you'll notice, it does have the simple new logo here. And then in very, very, very small print, they have wrote Fall Winter 2025. So you can imagine, if this is smaller, you're barely going to notice that it says Fall Winter 2025. And if you just take a glance at this picture, I wouldn't think that this is a fall winter catalog. So that part of it does bother me. The fact that the scents that they've chose this year and everything, I do kind of get the feel like they're trying not to make it so much about fall winter. I do get that we have a harvest brochure that has more fall specific type items in it, but I just love fall and winter so much. So I just want everything fall and winter all the time. That's just my opinion. And that's just what we have grown to look for with Scentsy when the fall winter catalog comes out. So I'm not going to show you all the sheets from the catalog because honestly, I can insert pictures here because that would look a lot better than these sheets that I have printed off from my computer. I only just did that just because I just needed something to glance at and look at. But I will insert a picture here of the new warmers. It's definitely just a whole sheet with some of the new warmers. Like I said, the catalog this year is going to be very condensed down. It's basically just going to be highlights to things that are coming, like the new warmers, things like that. So I was really, really concerned about what the new catalog was going to look like. I have a lot of customers who prefer to have an actual paper copy, something that they can flip through, something that they can look at, something that they can hold. And I have a lot of customers who don't want to go online. They don't really get on a computer. They don't want to do that. They want to be able to see it. They want me to mail them something like that. So, I mean, I was really nervous about it. I do think, though, that the catalog they have created, they have utilized all the space, and I do like how they have condensed it down. The only thing is there's no prices, and so I don't like that about it. I do wish they would have still put prices in the catalog. I understand their reasoning for not, but it would be easier if they did. It would be easier if they could have put their prices in here. Also, I think that the catalog is a little hard to read. This is some of the scents and the categories, and the scent descriptions are no longer like full sentences in the catalog. They are just the scent notes, and they have condensed that down to save space, but it is kind of hard to read. Like, it just is, there's just a lot here. Okay. There's a lot here, but I understand for saving space, they had to do that. And so it is what it is, but I feel like it does look a little cluttered, like on this page, like looking at it. And then you have this page here, which I'm sure I'll put a copy up there for you to look at, but it does have the fragrance grid here, which I'm very, very glad that the catalog still had that in there at least. That way you can look and see which fragrances are available in which products and all of that. Now, one of the things that they didn't add to the end of the fragrance grid was the licensed collections, which are now going to be called collaborations. So the collaborations, like the Harry Potter and the Stitch bars and stuff, I've seen another fragrance grid that they uploaded to the workstation. It does look like Wizarding World, 100 Acre Wood for Winnie the Pooh, and Stitch, Angel, and the regular Stitch bar. It does look like they're still going to be available, but they did not put them in the catalog. So they do have the clean fragrance grid on here, and then they have the regular bars fragrance grid, but they did not put the licensed or collaboration bars. They didn't put that up there. So I was kind of impressed with the catalog as far as how they used the space and made room for everything in here. And this page here, I'll put it on the screen there where you can see where they've kind of listed out the products. You know, they don't show the variations of like the different colors and things like that to choose from. And so that's the only thing that concerns me is like when Scentsy has their numbers that they look at and they know what their best sellers are and that sort of thing. If you're only showing and highlighting certain products in this catalog, then obviously those highlighted products are probably going to do better than the products that you're not actually advertising. You're not actually showing them to anyone. You're not handing them out in a catalog. I know that people are still going to go on the website and see them, but more than likely they're going to purchase what they see here because, you know, they see it and then they want it. So if something else isn't in this catalog, then more than likely they're not going to choose it if they don't want to go on the website and look. So I feel like that might skew like what some of the best sellers are as far as warmers, as far as products or variations of certain products. So I was also a little disappointed that there was not a new Scentsy diffuser shade. Usually they come out with like a new Scentsy diffuser shade for each catalog, but they didn't do that this year. I do know that we have a new one coming for the Harvest brochure. I will put a picture here of the one that I took from, when I was watching the family reunion, or if Scentsy has uploaded the actual pictures from the harvest brochure to the workstation, I'll try to find that. So Scentsy has actually released a lot of pictures of some of the new warmers and products and things like that that are coming to our workstation. So I will either insert pictures here or I will insert them at the end so that you can see some of the new products. Now just keep in mind, I don't know any of the pricing information. So Scentsy has not shared any pricing information with us. There's not pricing in the catalog, and I don't know what the pricing is for any of the new warmers. And I'm not going to go into all of this, but Scentsy also talked about, with this brand refresh, they also now have like 4 different categories for their warmers. So I'm pretty sure the categories were warm, enliven, inspire, and classic. And I did take a picture when they were explaining this during reunion. So I will try to put those pictures here for each of the categories so you can kind of see like what each category was about. That was just kind of the inspiration behind warmers that they're wanting to create for that specific category, because they're wanting to appeal to more people and they're wanting to appeal to personalities that might be interested in those type of warmers. So personally, as I'm hearing them talk about that and I'm seeing some of the pictures that they were showing, like from inspiration and things like that, a lot of it looks like, Pottery Barn, different things like that, like a lot of upscale type, luxurious looking type stuff. There was a lot of like neutral type tone warmers and decor and muted type colors. And so I was kind of concerned because my personality, I don't think fits within just one of those type of categories. Am I all 4? I really don't know. I mean, if a warmer speaks to me, a warmer speaks to me. It really doesn't matter to me what category it's in. I don't really know how I feel about the categories. I guess it makes sense for some people. But for me personally, I mean, I like color. And then sometimes I really like the muted type stuff. Sometimes I really like the neutral type stuff. So I like it all personally. But I do think if Scentsy making the categories is going to appeal to more customers, then, I'm all for that. I do want them to appeal to more people, create new things. I just hope they also don't change how they have created warmers up to this point, because I do love the bright warmers that they create, the colorful type things that they create. So I hope that they continue making those type of warmers as well. So, I mean, I guess just going forward, we'll see. I mean, I can tell you that I am very excited about the Amber Waves warmer. I'll try to put some pictures up as I talk about each of these. The Amber Waves warmer, the Golden Oak warmer, I love that one as well. The Soft Honey warmer, I think the Soft Honey warmer is absolutely gorgeous. If you got the little beehive warmer that was available for spring and summer, I think they would look great together. And then the Sunburst warmer, I think it's also really pretty. So the Tranquil Glow warmer is our charitable cause warmer, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was for mental health awareness. The Heirloom Flower, I think that warmer is beautiful. I'm just kind of concerned that one might be a little bright, but that one is really, really pretty. I also really love the Mountain Retreat warmer. So if you remember me talking about that specific style of warmer, it heats up really quickly. It melts the wax fantastic. They are amazing performing warmers. The only thing is you can bump them just a little bit, like the bottom piece comes apart. So there's not actually a dish that you remove, but I think it's a beautiful warmer. And I do love this Mountain Retreat with the cabin. But I was really looking forward to a cat warmer. I was really thought, since they have a dog warmer, I think it's called Furry Friends in this specific style, that at one point, I'm pretty sure that Scentsy said they had a cat warmer in the works and that they were making one. So I was really looking forward to that. I really thought that they were going to have that available for this catalog. And let me tell you, I was going to purchase that. I was going to get me one. I was going to get my mom one. But, haven't seen it. Maybe that'll be something they bring out later or something, but I do love this particular type of warmer. And then they have the Country Roots, the tractor warmer. I think that is absolutely adorable. They have the llama warmer. It's cute. I do like Shine Bright. I think it's because it reminds me a lot of the Mediterranean Moonlight warmer that I purchased from the Destinations collection. That sparkly like glow to it. Yeah, that really does appeal to me, but I'm not sure about the shape of it. So I don't know. I'll have to wait and see about that one. So they also have 3 new mini warmers. And out of the 3, I think my favorite is probably the Wish Bloom. I do really like that one a lot. I just think personally that it looks more like spring because it kind of looks like a pinkish purple type color to me. So if that one would have been more of like an orange type glow to it, which I'm sure I could add an orange bulb to it, I would have really, really loved that one even more. For fall, winter, I mean, for spring, summer, yeah, I would definitely put out like the purplish pink. I really like those. I think they're really pretty. And the Plush items in the new catalog, I am absolutely in love with Toodle the Doodle Dog. Absolutely adorable, precious. I've said on this channel before, I love Scentsy Buddies. I don't know what it is. I think it stems back from back in the day. My mom and I used to collect Thai Beanie Babies. If any of you collected Thai Beanie Babies, I would love to know. That was just the thing back in the day. That was something that her and I did together, and it just brings back memories. So now that I'm with Scentsy and we have the Scentsy Buddies, I love them. I don't know. But Toodle the Doodle Dog is adorable. I might have to have him for sure. So then we also have the Sloth Weighted and Warming Buddy. I think he's really, really cute. So he does not compare to Hamish for me at all. He is still my favorite weighted and warming buddy. And then we also have some new blankie buddies. So of course we have Hamish in the blankie buddy, and then we also have the little fox in the blankie buddy. I think both of those are adorable, and then you have some new buddy clips there. All in all, I really do like the products that are being added to the new catalog. I think they're beautiful. I was a little bit disappointed with the cleaning line and the laundry line and the body line. I just feel like this is a fall winter catalog, and I feel like even though it is a cleaning line, and even though it's a laundry line and it's a body line, I just feel like they need to lean a little bit more fall winter for the fragrances that they choose for those type of things. So they took out Wildflower Cotton and they brought in the fragrance Magnolia Shimmer, which they did release a news article to the workstation saying that Magnolia Shimmer is the same fragrance as Kindness, which was from the Mother's Day collection, I believe. So the description of Kindness is dewy greens, magnolia, and white musk. So if you remember that fragrance and you like that fragrance, that is coming in the laundry line. It's going to be available in dryer sheets, laundry liquid, Scentsy Fresh, and washer whiffs. So you will be able to get that in that. But I am sad to see Wildflower Cotton go because I really did love that. And then in the cleaning line, in all-purpose concentrate, a bathroom cleaner, and counter clean, we have sun-drenched cotton that's going to be added. And that is from the Destinations Wax collection. I do think that smelled pretty clean. I think it was a pretty fragrance. I just wish that they would have chose something for the clean line that's more fall winter. I just feel like it would sell, If Autumn Hearth would have ever went into any kind of cleaning products, I would have bought all of them for sure. I remember a long time ago we had Cider Mill, which was like a limited time collection in the cleaning products. I definitely that is still my favorite fragrance that's ever been released in the cleaning line. I do wish there would just be something, not just a limited time collection, but something in the catalog that would be a more fall winter type fragrance in this type of stuff. Now they do have vanilla mint in the cleaning line still. They have Sunkissed Citrus, they have Squeeze the Day, they have Ocean Air and Coconut Water, they have Johnny Appleseed, and they have Berry Sweet. So those items are still in the cleaning line in certain products, but I wish there would have been something more fall. And then the body line, what they have added to the body line is Vanilla Rose. And again, I personally did not really like that fragrance just because I do not like the smell of rose. Well, I like the smell of rose, but it gives me headaches. So I can't really use anything that is rose scented. But at the same time, I feel like Vanilla Rose should have been something they should have added to the spring, summer body care line, not the fall, winter. I feel like they should have added something, that's a fall winter fragrance that also smells pretty for body. I don't know. Just my opinion. One of the products that I do absolutely love that I use all the time is the Scentsy Swipes. And unfortunately, the only fragrances still that the Scentsy swipes are in is Johnny Appleseed and Squeeze the Day. There might be a limited time collection at some point maybe that will come out that will have a different fragrance in the swipes, but I was hoping there would be another fragrance that the swipes would be in. Another thing that I want to mention too, I know I have just been all over the place just talking about all kinds of things, and I really do apologize for this video. This video has went on and on. It is way too long, but another thing that I wanted to mention is that I was really, really hoping that in the catalog, Scentsy would put the wattage of element warmers, that they would put that information somewhere, and unfortunately it is not listed in the catalog. I don't know if they will put it on the website when those products come out. Maybe, let's hope for that. I just feel like that's such a simple thing that Scentsy could put that information somewhere, just because all of us like to know that information, but it is not in the catalog that I have seen. And then another thing, I was kind of shocked that the catalog, there's really nothing in the catalog talking about accessories such as bulbs, colored bulbs, or anything like that. I hope that Scentsy is not ever going to discontinue the colored bulbs. Not saying that they've talked about that or anything, but colored bulbs, I just love colored bulbs. Yeah, like bulbs just aren't mentioned in the catalog, which I know they've really cut down the catalog and not put everything in there just to save space, but I just feel like there should have been a little blurb somewhere, and maybe there is, maybe I've missed it. I know that there is a spot that they talk about cotton cleanups. So there is a spot in the catalog where they mention the cotton cleanups, the small and large packs, but I don't see anywhere where it actually mentions like bulbs. So there is just a little section at the bottom of one of the pages that says talk to your consultant about pricing and other products available now. So, I mean, they just really want us to direct our customers to our website, which is fine. I just wish somewhere there would have been like a little picture of bulbs mentioning that there's colored bulbs available, or something, just to remind customers, you know, if they need to reorder bulbs or if they want to get a colored one while they're getting their warmer. So that is basically it. There really isn't anything else I can talk about. So I know that there are other videos out there that's going to show you sneak peeks and things like that, just because I really didn't go into a lot of detail about everything that was announced at Reunion. I just mainly wanted to talk about the fragrances and, you know, my thoughts on the new catalog and everything like that. If Scentsy has released the actual images of the harvest items and holiday items, I'll definitely add that to this video somewhere so that you can just kind of see a sneak peek of what is coming. I will say I was really impressed with the harvest collection. I don't know about the fragrances so much, but for the warmers, I was really shocked by some of the warmers. I think they were absolutely stunning. There was one in particular that looked like a purple pumpkin, and I will have that warmer. I feel like that's going to sell out. I have some party credits that I'm going to use, and I'm going to grab 1 or 2 of those warmers. If you've been watching my channel, you know I love pumpkins and I love purple. And that warmer, I don't know where I'm going to put it. Honestly, I thought about my nightstands in the bedroom, getting 2 to go on each side of the bed, like in the fall. Or I have like a loft that overlooks up here, where I have 2 warmers that are kind of symmetrical. I might put them up there in the fall. I don't know, but I feel like I need 2. So I don't know how much that warmer is. I hope that it's not extremely expensive, but is absolutely gorgeous. They use the concept of being able to take like the lid off the top that looks like the pumpkin, that makes it look like a pumpkin. And then it just kind of looks like a purple warmer that you can keep out for the rest of the year. You can get by without it looking like a pumpkin. So yes, I'm going to probably get 2 of those. There were some other warmers that were from the Harvest collection that I absolutely fell in love with. Fall is just my favorite time. I do not need any more fall warmers. I really don't. I don't need any more fall decor whatsoever, but I have saved a couple parties and party rewards specifically for fall, and I am definitely going to have to grab a couple of things. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to getting my hands on lots of these new fragrances so that I can smell them, so that I can go over them with you. And if you have stuck with me throughout this whole video, I do want to apologize just for my rant about Autumn Hearth, but honestly, my heart is shattered about Autumn Hearth. If you have a favorite fragrance and Scentsy has discontinued it, then you know just how it makes you feel. I know that this is just wax and warmers and it's really not that important. There are way more important things going on in the world. But Scentsy is what brings me joy, honestly. I really love Scentsy and fragrance, and they've already done this to me with a couple of other fragrances. You know, Ocean was my absolute favorite and they discontinued it, and it just seems like every time I really fall in love with a fragrance, or my customers do, they discontinue it, and it does make me sad. But I am really grateful for Club. I just wish that Scentsy would make it so we could get pods in certain fragrances in Club, like Bring Back My Bar. I wish that we also had Bring Back My Pod, you know, and that we could get certain fragrances that way as well, so that I can still enjoy that fragrance in my car. Because without scent circles or pods, I won't really be able to travel with that fragrance. So that does make me sad. So I think that was it for this video. I'm sorry that it was kind of jumbled and all over the place. I really didn't have time to prepare for this video. I just wanted to get up my thoughts about some of the changes and the scents that are discontinued and coming and all of that. I would love to hear what your opinions are. If I hurt your feelings or I talked about a certain bar that you love or fragrance that you love, I really do apologize. It's just my heart is with Autumn Hearth, and I'm just heartbroken that that one is gone. So please forgive me for the things I've said, but I am definitely salty at the moment about it for sure. So I would love to know down below if you are excited for a certain fragrance that's coming to the catalog, or if you're really disappointed about a certain fragrance that's being discontinued. I would also like to know about what you guys think about the logo, what you think about the new warmers, what you think about the new catalog being more condensed and not having prices. You know, just any opinions. I would love to hear what you have to say. Like I said, I feel like all of us, consultants and customers, we need a place where we can talk about how we feel, not necessarily be negative, but be able to voice our opinions and what we like and don't like about the changes. I'm definitely going to just move forward with the changes and try to make the best of them. Like I said before, I'm really upset that Warmer of the Month and Scent of the Month no longer have brochures, and that the harvest brochures and the holiday brochures are no longer going to be printed through Scentsy. I'm going to have to print those myself if I want a paper copy. We're just going to move forward and try to go with the flow with some of the changes. Again, I want to apologize that I have not been as consistent lately with videos, but honestly, the heat has just been too much here and I've been busy, and I'm really trying to get caught up. I know that I need to get my Bring Back My Bar warm reviews up. I honestly don't think that video will be up before the end of the month, but I do think the Bring Back My Bars are supposed to be available into August. I don't know exactly when those are all going to be discontinued, but I will get that video up as soon as I can. I'm going to try to do this next video where I'm going over my hauls, just because I need to be able to go over what's in these boxes with you so that I can take everything and organize it and get it out of my living room so that it's stored away and it's where it needs to be, and I have some room here because I have a lot of hauls here to go over with you. So I'm going to try to do that first, and then I will try to get the Bring Back My Bar warm reviews up for you. So I really do appreciate you guys watching. I hope all of you have an absolutely lovely day, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.